In listening to your podcast, one of the things I really like is how you explain, and ascribe to creating the future. You can't predict the future. It's our job as entrepreneurs to create the future and bring people with us and convince them, how to move forward
Yes.
with what that
100%.
future is. And as my endeavor is growing, it started out with me building with my brother and co-founder, and now we have a team of say 14 people. I'm wondering if you have any tips, tricks, pitfalls, maybe mental frameworks for how to really transition the mindset from builder, engineer, bootstrapper to a growth mindset. I think I'm a little apprehensive to go out there and raise venture capital and really turn on the juice, even though what we have is starting to show signs of traction, et cetera. But I'm trying to figure out, how to back away from the building aspect of it and really empower my team and think about growing my people and my company. And if you encounter that frequently with other entrepreneurs or not.
Oh yeah. And so hopefully this thought process won't be too generic, but the way, and we haven't really had time to talk about it yet on the podcast, but like I like to say that a startup, a breakthrough startup that is, and I'm not qualified to talk about any other kind of startup because that's all I care about. But like a breakthrough startup goes through what I like to call a breakthrough sequence. And the first breakthrough is the insight breakthrough. And that's discovering something about the future that's not obvious. And what you're breaking free from is conventional ideas. And then the next breakthrough is the product breakthrough, or what some people would call 0 to 1. You're trying to make something happen out of nothing. You're trying to understand, what can I uniquely build that people are desperate for? And ideally, a lot of people. And what you're trying to break free from there is the need to compete with others. Because if you have an unconventional insight that you translate into a product that people are desperate for, in theory, you shouldn't really have any competitors at the limit, right? It's like everybody's like, where have you been all my life? Who you care about in your audience. And then the third breakthrough is the growth breakthrough. And in the growth breakthrough, we ask the question, what would it look like to achieve total global hegemony as the primary supplier of our product? So you're breaking free from conventional planning, conventional growth assumptions. Now, what you're describing to me right now sounds like potentially the transition from 0 to 1 to 1 to X, the transition from the product breakthrough to the growth breakthrough. And the perils of 1 to X, 0 to 1, you're making up something out of nothing. It's never been seen before, never been done before. You're being MacGyver, you're being Wonder Woman, James Bond, all that stuff. In 1 to X, you transition from being that to being VP of nothing. And you find people, execution can be hired. And 1 to X mode is understanding what is the essential thing to know about what's working and how do I copy what works. And so where a lot of startups fail is in that transition. It's like 0 to 1 is like Earth and 1 to X is like Mars. And now you're like Mark Watney and you got to science the shit out of it. And if you do it the way you did it so far, it won't work, because now you don't need a jazz band. You need to start to begin to form the beginnings of a marching band. And like jazz bands won't get you to 1 to X. That people need sheet music, people need dance steps. And so you're going to be challenged. Value creation occurs differently, right? You used to create value by doing something nobody's ever done before, by being the first option that a customer's ever seen, they haven't seen before. Now you have to figure out, like, what is the thing that's working and how do I do that over and over again? Eliminate distractions. And how do I hire people who already know how to do this, because I don't need on-the-job training. Now I can. So vision can't be hired, execution can.